Shrunvan Rama Katha nadam konayati param gatim Janaki Kanta Smaranam Anchaneya Swamiki Sadguru Maharaj ki. With the immense blessings of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Maharanyam Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, and by the causeless mercy of our Madhuri Sakhi Sameta Premikavarda Thakurji, we are all celebrating Rama Navami the way we should celebrate. There are two types of celebration. One is a celebration which is Karma Purva celebration, which means I fast, I don't eat all those delicious stuff, and then I keep silent. All that is also a way of celebration, Vratam. The second type of celebration is to somehow instill Ramachandra Prabhu, Seetha Maatha, Hanumanji, Lakshmana Swami, Bharatalwar in our hearts and somehow fill our tongues with Ramanama. And amongst the two, the first one is a sadhan, which means it's a means, and the second one is the phalam, you see. So generally when we get the fruit, we don't have to really worry about the means for the fruit, isn't it? That is the reason why when our Uddhava Swami goes and sees all the gopis in Vrindavanam, he says, I don't know for how many million lives they must have done dhana, vrata, japa, homa, tapa, etc. That Krishnehi bhakti sadhyate. How did they get so much prema? How did they get so much priyam? How did they get so much of love towards Bhagavan? They must have observed all this vratam, all these physical and bodily observances of vratam. And that could be the reason why they developed so much love, is what our Uddhava Swami is trying to deduce there, you see. And that is the reason why the way in which we are celebrating Rama Navami is through Bhagavata Dharma. Bhagavata Dharma means very simple. Hear, then listen, and then sing, remember. To start with, it's very difficult to listen. But we hear first. But as we keep hearing, slowly the greatness of the topic and the katha, it will make us listen. We will sit down and listen to Rama Katha because Rama Guna is like that. And then once you listen, we tend to repeat it. And once we repeat it, slowly we get a little love towards Ramachandra Prabhu. And then the greatest blessings one can ever have is somehow let Ramachandra Prabhu's Ram Nam in our lips on its own accord. Vivashaha, it is said. Vivashaha. Vivashaha means in spite of ourselves. We will find Ram Nama running in our lips. It is a siddhi. It is not sadhana. Our Swamiji loves a lovely song by Sri Anna where he is praying to Ramachandra Prabhu. He says, this is the steps for me to behold you. Either when I am still in the body, if I am a Mahabhakta, or certainly when I leave this body, I am going to see you. How? It said, Ramachandra Prabhu's Katha Shravanam is the first step. And slowly it will make me think about Rama Guna. It will result in the fruit of Rama Nama in my lips. And once it happens, Rama Darshanam is very sulabham. You see? Tava katamritam matasya me Tava guna chintanam sada bhavatu Tava nama kirtano siddhasya me Tava rupa darshano sulabham bhavatu Janmani Janmani Tava Bhaktim Degi me Kripaya Raghava. First step is listening. And what do we listen to? First of all, there is this very intricate, interdependent relationship between Dharma and Bhakti. The moment we realize this, we will understand the uniqueness of Srimad Ramayana, why we should listen to it. Now it is very evident that all of us wants to be dharmic. Who would not want to be dharmic? Who would not want to have compassion in our heart as a nature? Who would not want to have truth as our habit, as our character? And who would not want control of our senses when we needed to be controlled as our very quality? And who would not want peace? All these are normal human dharma which we aspire for. The very fact that we are aspiring for shows us that it is achievable. Because no intelligent person would aspire for something which is impossible. No intelligent person would want to grow wings to fly, you see. But deep inside, intuitively, all of us, either we are there or not, want to be truthful. And there is something in us which tells us when we lie, it creates a little disturbance in us. When we show a little bit of a cruelty in words or in acts or even in thoughts, we feel a little dis-ease, a disturbance in our heart. When we are not able to control our own senses, we won't say, "Ye to sahaj hai." No, we feel uncomfortable. At times, if we don't deal with it properly, we feel guilty also. Why? Because deep inside, we all know that as nature, we are compassionate. If we are human, then we are compassionate. As nature, we have the potential to control our senses and lead a life like a master and not be a slave to the senses. By deep inside in our intuition, we know very well that we are capable of truth, because truth is my self, truth is my nature. And so we aspire for it. Then why are we not there? It is not because there is no aspiration, which is the reason why all the dictums like be truthful, be loving is very nice as a car bumper sticker. But no, even a child knows I need to be compassionate, I need to be loving, I need to be affectionate, I need to be truthful. We know what we need to be. We don't need any reinforcement for that. We know the goal very well. Intuitively, everybody knows. How do we know that intuitively? It's called voice of God in us. Our Swamiji, in one of his fundamental texts called Kalidharma Undiyar, very beautifully says that who says Bhagavan does not speak to us? He speaks to us constantly. The voice of Bhagavan we drown with the noise of our ego. Voice is drowned by noise, na? And so, our Swamiji says the voice of God is what we call as conscience. And very beautiful term in Sanskritam, manasakshi. It is a sakshi, it is a witness to the mind. And the witness will speak. How does it speak? Not verbally. We say in a body language. Likewise, the witness inside speaks intuitively. Generally, if a child is very upset, it won't say I am upset. By the body language, you can understand child is upset. Likewise, deep inside, manas sakshi is a fantastic word. It says it witnesses the mind silently. And it also points out when the mind goes a little off track. And we feel that disease inside. We feel, when I say disease, don't make it a non-hyphenated word. Dis-hyphenated yeast. I'm not saying diseased mind. A mind which is out of his ease or poise or composture. So when we feel a dis-ease in our mind, it is because intuitively I am not doing what I am potential or capable of. I am not living to my best potential. And so dharma is evident. We don't need dharma shastras to know that I need to be affectionate, compassionate to all living beings. It is evident. And it is evident even intellectually. Only some very subtle points of dharma we need shastra to clarify. When can I lie, for example? When can I use violence, for example? All that we can't decide because we are tainted by our own biases. Dharma shastra, the rishis thought through all that. And they gave us, this is how you actually behave in these circumstances. And they somehow tuned into the universal law. Like a universal law means when I drop a ball, it drops down, right? And you ask somebody, why does the ball go down when you drop it? When you don't know something, you know what we do? We give it a name. And we think we understood. When I drop a ball, why does it drop down? The father said, silly, it is all gravity. What does the father know? Nothing. What is gravity? When you drop a ball, it falls down. That's gravity. Why does a ball fall down? Gravity. This is circular tautology. So here, when we don't understand something, we give a name and hope we understand. We don't want to really crush our mind too much. So, naam do, bhul jao, bas. Drop a ball, it falls down. Why gravity? Finish. Do you know what gravity is? Do you know why gravity exists? How does it work? All that I don't know. Likewise, when we are talking about something which is a fundamental universal law. It is like gravitation. It's like gravity. It is there. Whether you believe or not, it is there. Na? Just because somebody thinks, from first floor I'm going to jump down, I don't believe in quality. So gravity or Bhagavan or Dharma does not rely on the sanction of our belief. We don't have to sanction with our belief. It is there. It's called universal law. Just like how you have universal laws, which are physical laws, you have scientific laws. Likewise, there is a universal code. There is a universal law of the inner nature. Outer nature ka universal law, science teaches us. The inner nature also has some universal laws. Even I have read this research paper. Even the face, the body language is universal. And a person who researched this went to one of the places you all love, Papua New Guinea. And they actually researched in some tribes who were untouched by so-called civilization. And they exhibited the same body language as can I say Harvard MBA or whatever. So that's universal. As human beings, we may dress differently, eat differently. Some things are universal physiologically, some things are universal psychologically, and some things are universal spiritually. It does not matter. I am a Hindu, I am not a Hindu, doesn't matter. Hindu or non-Hindu, gravity does not respect all that. You see, even if you are a ball, it will pull you in. You see, and that is the reason why this universal law is called Dharma. You see, that's why the word Dharma itself is so beautiful. That's the beauty of, that's the reason why I beg all of you to teach our children some Indian language, because whatever you say, any translation will not get you the whole rasa. What is Dharma? What can you translate in English? Some old text translate as religion. Poch, gone. Some people call it righteousness. Some people even now call it way of life. What is this way of life? Who defines it? You see, we have all these are right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not enough. In Sanskritam or all Indian language, thankfully, they have the word Dharma as part of their verbiage. You see, because Dharma has a lot of meanings. Ramayanam is a Dharma Shastram. And so you need to know what you are committing to and what you get out of it, because Rishis has mandated people like us to say 4 things before you start any subject. First, tell the subject. It is there in invitation. So Vishayam is Ramayanam. You all know that. Second, they say, who is the Adhikari? Adhikari, how do you know how I know? People who somehow chose to come inside this hall are all Adhikaris, you see. The third one is called Sambandham, which I will tell you. The fourth one is called, what is the Prayojanam? What is the fruit? What do we get out of it? Very important that we announce it upfront. And I'm going to tell you that. Dharma is Prayojana. And Dharma in Sanskritam has lot of beautiful meanings. I will just tell you 2-3 flavors so that we understand how Ramayana can reinforce Dharma and how it leads us to happiness. Finally, every Shastra is there only for one reason, Anandam. That's it. To find happiness, to find that truth in us, to actually go in a path which can, not help us, it helps us not to get distracted, so that I can go in a path of purpose. That's why every Shastra is there, whether it's called Bhakti Shastra, Jnana Shastra, Karma Shastra, whatever Shastra. Shastras are there for us to find what we are searching for, which is really Anandam. I don't want to even translate that as happiness, you see. Anandam, we all know Anandam, isn't it? Anandam is the true bliss, which is what we are, you see. And so here Dharma in Sanskritam has lot of meanings. One such meaning is that which actually holds and upholds the entire existence. Dharayate, that which dharanam, dharanam, you see. When somebody is carrying something, it's called dharanam. And who is the one who did the first dharayate? You need to understand the poetry of Sanatana Dharma, otherwise we will also join the people who mock all our Puranas. The first dharanam happened by what we call as Varahavataram. If anything holds the world, I'll give it to you in writing, it is actually Dharma. Finish. You see? So Varahavataram is nothing but Yajno Vai Vishnuhu. That Vishnu is Dharma, Dharma is Vishnu, Vishnu is Dharma's Prabhu, or the one who actually rules over Dharma. So entire Varaha Swami is beautifully shown as the very embodiment of Yajna, which is Dharma. You see? And dharma means that which holds everything. It is dharma which holds the world together. And the simplest way to understand this, the moment we transgress ecological dharma, we are finding it hard to breathe, we are finding it hard to drink, we are finding it hard to eat. Why? Because we spoiled the dharma there. And when we don't respect ecology, it has its own ways to hit us back. When we are very short-sighted, for example, and when we want to exploit something, it will hit us back. Now or maybe generations to come. Right or wrong? You agree? If you exploit nature now, our grandchildren will suffer. There are some people who deny there is nothing happening, climate change doesn't happen. That's their opinion. But we know very well that if you transgress dharma, it has its implications. Are you not worried about your grandchildren? We are, na? So, this is the way in which our Shastras say, don't do this, Papa. It will show itself in 3 generations to come. Which is what we are saying. We want to give a better world for our children to live in. No. What you are telling in a new language is, let us respect nature. And let us respect the laws of nature. And let us milk nature, but not exploit nature. What it really means is dharma. In a small, external nature, ecological way. You respect dharma, it will do poshanam like a mother. If you try to play with dharma, she will know how to punish as a queen. She has both these natures. Ade prakriti. The prakriti or nature can be a caring mother if you approach her as a mother. If you try playing around, she is also the queen, you see. And that is the reason why one part of dharma is that which holds everything together. And there is also a dharma which we follow. In the road there is a traffic dharma, which means you drive in the left or I don't know. I don't have any license. Which license you have, Abdina? License to speak. That's all I have. I have no license to drive anything. So I think you drive in the left side here like India. That's a dharma we all follow. It's an unwritten rule. Why? Maybe it's written also. When you try to do the other way around, why you can be a revolutionary? I will travel wherever I want to. Well, you're going to injure yourself and others because it is the dharma which holds the safety and security of the entire society, because there were some good thinkers who thought we are used to driving on the horse wagon in London streets, on the left side. Let us follow the same thing here because we have come somewhere from there only, and let's continue that. And then horses were replaced with horsepower, you see. And now you have this wonderful 10 bhp, 40 bhp and all that cars, etc. We follow the dharma of I shall stick to driving in the left. Why? Some dharma are called conventions. Because we need to have some uniformity, to have some semblance of order in the road. So some are conventions, no doubt about it. They are not superstitions. Why do you want to drive only in the left? Why not right? Very good question. You please question it inside the room. Don't question it in the road. You see? You get what I am saying, na? Some dharmas are conventions. No doubt about it. Some dharmas are conventions for the ease of frugal service to the whole society. For example, I am an affected party. You take any scissors, it is not designed for left-handers. Because you have the curve which supports your thumb, you will not even notice. Lucky people. If I try to cut with my left hand, the curved portion is on the other side. You see, so I will always find difficult to cut with the scissors. And then some people say, why should it be? Let's make it neutral. I would say, rather, if I have to pay 10 rupees extra, make a left-handed scissors, but as a convention, I'm happy with how the scissors are, I'll be a little careful. This is how I accommodate, I adjust, because I understand that I need to have a bigger hat on me and I can't be very individualistic all the time. Of course, I have to respect my needs, but I also have a need that I'm a part of a society, so I respect conventions. You see? And that's how some dharma are. The way we clothe, convention. The way we eat, convention. And I can bring a science and all that, right hand love I should eat and right side brain, left side brain. It's all just a model, you see. And so, dharma is that which holds everything together, or dharma. Another meaning for dharma is nature, quality or a property of a substance. So, dharma is, for example, if you have sugar, dharma of sugar is sweetness, which means its property. Substance and its property, substance and its quality. Dharma of wonderful bloom lotus is the wonderful smell of lotus. It is inseparable. Do you see? Dharma is inseparable from a substance. There is a big study of this called Vaiseshika in Shastras, who do a tremendous study of that. Let's not get there, but the beauty is very simple. Every substance has its own dharma, which means it has its own property, innate quality, which is inseparable from that substance. Now, substance is a wrong word. Let me use the word entity. Except humans, everything else in this universe has choiceless dharma, dharmi, inseparatedness. I am making words as I go ahead. Dharma and dharmi is inseparable without any choice. For example, sugar can never be bitter. And bitter God can never be sweet, trust me. Likewise, substance and the qualities relationship is called dharma, which means quality is dharma, substance is called dharmi. The name is called Nama, the named is called Nami. That's how, intuitively we understand Sanskritam very easily. So here, dharma, which is the substance, sugar, and dharmi, which is the sugar, and dharma, which is the sweetness, is inseparable. Sugar has no choice over it. Sugar has to be sweet. And generally, if you look at the various breeds of dogs, some dogs are friendly. They have no other option. Right? And lion is by nature ferocious, unless you play around. GM lion, I don't know. Genetically modified lion, I don't know. You see? But if it is a lion, it has a nature which cannot be altered. It is in the only exception, you know what it is? My nature and I, even though I am potentially this much capable of this dharma, I can choose not to be in that dharma at all. That is the reason why in our Shastras it is said only humans can manufacture karma, because karma comes from choices and no other species has this capability of making big choices. It can make a choice. You put a small plate of curd rice and one small plate of pasta. The dog may go and decide to eat pasta or rice. That I don't know. That choice is not what you are saying. I am talking about some very, very deep decisions and choices which impacts our way of life and all that. That only we are capable of doing. And that's why very beautifully the word dharma is meaning two things. Dharma means what we are capable of, what is our potential to live a life of a human, meaning every letter of these 5 letters there. You see, H-U-M-A-N as human. That's dharma. Which means what I am potential of, what I am capable of, what I can be is dharma. And rishis thought, until he lives or she lives to the best of the potential, how can the human life be fruitful to that person? So until you live to the best of the potential which is been gifted to us as a physiological being, psychological being, rishis said you need to be like that. And so this need to be also becomes dharma. You get it? What I can be, I need to be. Only then I can be at ease with myself. If somebody is a talented table tennis player and you want to play with that person and it's the first time you are holding the bat and you are holding the bat ulta, you thought that the stick is where I hit the ball. Do you think that person, even if that person wins 25-0, that person will be happy? Why? Because what talent they are capable of, they are not expressing it, they are not manifesting it. So they won't be happy even if they win. If you think result is everything, it is not. So here, rishis thought that these are the wonderful qualities which are inseparable from humans and hence humanness. Manushyata, we say, which is humanness. And so they said, this is your dharma. This is what you are capable of. You are capable of truth. You are capable of compassion. You are capable of, controlling your senses. You are capable of shanti, which no other living beings can really boast of. You may think a cow is very happy. We don't know what it is thinking. It does not know how to even say I am thirsty. You see? And so here our rishi said dharma is both the potential of what we can be, and hence out of concern they have towards us, and since we are anyway seeking happiness, they say unless you are what you can be, you cannot be really happy. So what you need to be so that you can completely live the life of what you can be, Both became dharma. My potential of compassion, my potential of truth, my potential of controlling my senses, being master of my own self is also dharma, because that's what I'm capable of. And what I need to adopt as values so that I can go in the path which leads to happiness also becomes dharma. So they are not mandating something which we cannot do or not capable of doing or we don't have the potential to do. No amount of me teaching mathematics to a cat will make it even solve a simple addition. Why? It is not capable of it. And we are, you see, and that is the reasons why, that's the reason why Rishis gave us Dharma Shastra, right? This is what you need to do. Now, we humans have a little problem. I can do things without really getting the grip of things. Or I can do things with complete understanding and love. You see? So for example, go on the left side of the road. Okay. And then you're going, grumbling. Why am I forced to do this? You see? And when you get a chance, something, the Vakra side is there. So let me try right side driving. And then there is a possibility we may slip because I don't understand why I am doing this. I don't have the true love to actually follow dharma, then I can slip from dharma, which is the intricate link between love for what is and actual practicing what I can be. You see, practicing dharma and love for dharma. You see, that's the beautiful link between these two. Now we have a problem. What is the problem? Dharma is very abstruse. Give me sweetness. What will you do? You need to bring a substance for him to or her to experience sweetness. So you bring a little sugar. I asked only sweetness, why are you bringing sugar? Is a moot question, you see. Because sugar and sweetness are inseparable. You can experience sweetness only in sugar or honey or other stuff. You can't experience sweetness without an agency or a substance which holds it as its dharma. So one way of looking at it is Sharkaro Vigravan Madhuryam. You see, then I just made it up. Mostly it's not even right grammatically. That sugar is the very embodiment of sweetness. You all agree? Amulagram rasam stishtanne. That right from the smallest particle to the biggest crystal of sugar, it embodies and encompasses the dharma of sweetness. So if I want to experience the sweetness, I have to take sugar in our mouth. That's how we can experience and relish dharma. And until I taste sugar, I would keep saying, I want sweetness, I don't want sugar. No. And somebody has to force feed the child. The moment the child tastes, I didn't know it was so sweet. And now dharma, forget dharma, I want sugar now. You see. But when you take sugar in, sweetness automatically follows. Likewise, this dharma is embodied by the descent of divinity in form of Ramachandra Prabhu. That's why Valmiki Bhagavan very beautifully says, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. If you want dharma, you can't taste sweetness without the sugar. We can't really embrace dharma in entirety without embracing Ramachandra Prabhu. If you want to embrace prema as it is, without dharma, prema becomes very rough, stula mark, you see. It becomes, gross is a wrong word, that's a problem with English. The exact translation of stula is gross. But now our children, how was broccoli? Gross. Broccoli can't be subtle, it has to be gross. क्या करूं अभी ग्रॉस बोलूंगा तो you will think something else ना dharma stula is gross na problem with language. And that's why let us say that dharma, when you want sweetness, it has to be embodied by sugar. When you taste sugar, you actually have sugar and you have this sweetness also. Sugar gives you a little bit of energy also, if you take it in the right proportion. So here, our Valmiki Bhagavan had an agenda. Ramachandra Prabhu had an agenda. Ramachandra Prabhu's agenda was, I want to spread the sweetness of dharma the sweetness of human potential to live to the best level possible. And how can I actually do that? I will embody it. I will show them. I will eat sugar and show the sweetness of sugar to everybody. Let them also eat sugar seeing me. But Valmiki Bhagavan thought, I am not interested in sweetness, I am interested in sugar. You see, I want to give sugar to all of you. That will be easier to eat. Sweetness will anyway follow. And that's why he thought, instead of writing a Dharma Shastra, which lot of other rishis have written, Dharma Shastra will tell us, if you want to live to our best potential, how we have to wake up, how we have to eat, how we have to roll, everything is there. How you have to wash your feet, how you have to walk. They have a very elaborate rules and regulations. That many people have written. 18 rishis have written it already. Ramachandra Prabhu's interest was Dharma Sthapanartham. I shall reinstate Dharma, I shall lead by example. In fact, not lead, I will set standards by my example. Leading by example means I follow a standard to make sure that people follow me. So here, our Bhagavan Ramachandra Prabhu wanted to establish Dharma, Valmiki Bhagavan wanted to establish Rama Bhakti. And both were done in one stroke, the Adam beauty of Ramayana. And before Ramayanam descended, Ramayanam itself is an avatar. Before Ramayanam descended, there was nothing called literature. They were only Vedic learning. Nothing else. If at all you have to pray, pray with Vedic mantras. If at all you have to do vichara, vichara with Vedic mantras. There was no literature, there was no, kavyam. Kavyam means story, literature. And the first literature of humankind, as per our tradition, emanated from this great rishi called Valmiki. And he did something very beautiful. His whole idea was, how do I show Rama Bhakti to the whole world? How do I make people Rama Bhaktas? Ramachandra Prabhu's goal was, how do I make Dharma instill in this worldly humans? And Valmiki wanted Rama Bhakti. Ramachandra Prabhu wanted Dharma Nishta. And together it was contained in this wonderful first kavya, Adi Kavyam, Adi Kavi in Ramayanam, Srimad Ramayana. Once it is said, Swami Vivekananda was talking about Ramayana somewhere. And a person stood up and said, why don't you straight away talk values? Why are you telling a story around it and all that? Vivekananda said, I have been talking for 1 hour. Can somebody get me a glass of water? And he asked a question, get me water. So he went to brought a glass of water. He said, hey, I asked you to bring water now. Why did you bring it in a glass? He asked. He said, how else can I give water? How else do you think you can get dharma without a dharmatma? How else you think you can love a dharmatma without his kalyana guna? How else can you verify a kalyana guna without a charitram? Adha Ramayana. You see now? So how do we actually live our complete potential of humans is by embracing dharma. When I say embracing dharma, not reluctantly holding on to dharma, I had to, Adhe adharma, you see. Will a child ever say, I had to eat the ice cream in the birthday party? So, first we have to understand this beauty, sweetness of dharma. That's why you say embrace. You embrace something which you love, isn't it? As a child. So here, how do we embrace dharma without embracing the dharmatma? One who lived that dharma needs to be embraced. How would you develop a love for a person? The actual attraction, when I say attraction, I mean, in a very spiritual sense, akarshana. How do we get that akarshanam towards a person really on the long term is not by looks. Looks will wilt, you see. Looks will go off. When somebody is angry, we can't even see that person. And so looks are not permanent. Within 1 minute, looks will change. Micro expressions lurk. So here, when we actually say, I want to embrace dharma, I want to embrace a dharmatma. When will you embrace a dharmatma? When you love that dharmatma, that epitome of values. So when will you develop love towards a person? Attraction or repulsion is purely because of the qualities of the person. A person who is always positive, always calm, always composed, always loving, always compassionate, purva bhashi, mrutu bhashi, will you not have attraction towards that person over the long term? And so, Rama Guna is the cause for Rama Prema. And what is the litmus test, as they say in chemistry? When you actually put a litmus paper into the water, it will show you whether it is acidic or basic. Likewise, what is the litmus test for Rama Guna? People can say, he is a great charitable person, he is a great truthful person, he is such a generous. Let it all be true. How do I know it? The only thing which can certify a quality of the person is the actual life story of that person. You see? The actual anecdotal evidence of that person. Charitram proves qualities. And the charitram is what Ramayana is all about. So within the charitram, there is qualities. Charitram means life story. There is the qualities of Ramachandra Prabhu which clearly show his guna. And let me tell you, even the greatest of Mahatmas have not got to the end of Ramaguna. Why? Because new. Each time our Swamiji tells Ramayana, he is telling something new, Ramaguna, which is there in Valmiki Ramayana. But it's like a gold mine. Deeper you dig, you 24 karat, 48 karat, I don't know, keeps coming. You see? And that's what Brahmaji told Valmiki, saying that whatever you utter would be the truth. And truth is what you will tell. To an extent that, poetic license is there. Na? So if he says Ramachandra Prabhu was walking in Chitrakuta, there was a beautiful placid pond. And that in the middle was a fantastic bloomed 1,000-petal lotus. Poets can write like that. Brahma says, it would have been there. Because you said that. Because not even a single lie, even jestingly won't come from your mouth, because Saraswati is sitting there for you. Don't worry. That is the amount of blessings he got before he wrote Ramayana. And so Ramayana has all this. As you keep digging, it keeps coming out. And that is Valmiki Bhagavan's greatness, that he gave Rama Katha, and there are many people in our satsang who are Rama Bhaktas. You see, they love everybody. Rama. Now if you say Radhe Radhe, Sita Ram. They go to Brindavan with a Sita Ram scarf, you see, like Tulsi Das ji did. And Bhagavatam, what are you reading? 9th canto. Ramacharithram. I am doing Nitya Parana, Bhagavatam. That is how Ramachandra Prabhu caught them. They haven't caught Ramachandra Prabhu. Ramachandra Prabhu caught hold of them. You see? Wow, Kalyana Guna. And Kalyana Guna shown by their charitrams. You see? Charitram, life history, anecdotes of Rama. And our Valmiki Bhavan has given that all that in Ramayana. It has this beautiful, incredible Rama Guna. Forget Bhakti, just as a literature, just as a novel, you read the character of Ramachandra Prabhu, there is no other, can I use the word hero? In Sanskritam it's called Katha Nayakaha. There is no other Katha Nayaka like Ramachandra Prabhu in the history of humankind. Says all those poets. Bhavabhuti is there was a Kavi called Bhana Kavi. Bhavabhuti has written something. Kalidas Kekave and I has written wonderful Raghuvamsha. Everybody, Rajwar Singh, even Tirupugal. He is a Shiva Bhakta. He is singing Rama Katha. Atha Guna. You see? That's the Guna. To an extent, believe it or not, a hardcore Krishna Bhakta, a great jnani who cannot be swayed in Krishna Bhakta, who was drowned in the nectarine ocean of Krishna's Rupam, Krishna Swarupam, Krishna Gunam, Krishna Leela, son of Vyasa Bhagavan, Shukamuni, in Ramayana lost his balance. When he talked about Ramachandra Prabhu, he said there is nobody equal to or greater than Ramachandra Prabhu. Before Krishna Katha. And so, Tyagaraja Swami, a great Rama Bhakta, saw that. And he felt very excited. You see? If a person who was raised somewhere else and who has never seen India comes to India, sees and says, oh my God, this is the best country, then you would take it as a testimonial. Not that we need to hear from them, just saying. Likewise, Our Shuka Muni says, Arey, I was in Nirguna Nishta, I was way beyond Nama, Rupa, I went to Nirguna Brahma, I was drowned in this vast ocean of consciousness until I heard one shloka from Bhagavatam describing Krishna's wonderful Rupa curved in 3 places holding a flute, wonderful bunch of peacock feathers on his lovely curly locks and lotus-like eyes, sharp nose, ruddy lips and a rounded neck and Vistara Vakshastalam and wonderfully, proportioned arms with all this wonderful Kanakam, Keyuram, Kankanam and style. Vyatyasta padam, one leg this way, one leg that way. After that, hare, forget all these nirguna, etc. I have completely immersed in wonderful form and leela of Krishna. He is Shukamuni. And when he started writing Ramacharithram, Nirasta Samya Atishayam, saying that there is nothing equal to or greater than Ramachandra Prabhu, Tyagaraja Swami was very excited. The first song he composed, and the song itself is like a Namavali. Namavali means that which repeats very easy, even a child can understand without much difficulty. He is saying, Namo Namo Raghavaya Anisham Namo Namo Raghavaya. And then in the Charanam, Sukanutaya Dhinabandave Namo Namo. Nobody has ever sung this line in history of Rama Katha, where they say Shukamuni was completely enchanted by Rama Guna, and he is doing stuti to Ramachandra Prabhu. Everybody will say Valmiki stutaya, or they would say Parameshwara stutaya, all that is there. Shukanutaya Sakala Lokadaya Sindave. A small boy capturing the essence of Bhagavatam and Ramayanam in one charana. Because the essence of Ramayana is final surrender to Ramachandra Prabhu. In that, the one who surrenders to Ramachandra Prabhu, which Bhagavan very beautifully embraces, Vibhishana Alvar. And our Vibhishana from Sri Lanka very beautifully says, Sarva Loka Sharanyaya Raghavaya Mahatmane. He's saying that you are the one who is the refuge for all the worlds. And since he is a Sharanya, he has the compassion towards all the worlds. That's the essence of Rama Gunam. And very beautifully saying, Sakala Loka Daya Sindave. That you are an ocean of daya or compassion for the entire universe, entire existence. Shuka Muni, completely enchanted by Rama Gunam, even in Bhagavata. And that is the reason why, if you see, our Bhagavad Gita shows us that dharma is not possible without bhakti. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Shipram bhavati dharmatma sashvat shanti nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. What does that mean? Even if you don't know dharma, but somehow you like Ramachandra Prabhu, and you keep thinking about Ramachandra Prabhu, Bhagavan thinks you are already my bhakta. But still there is a little bit of correction needed in dharma. Bhagavan says, my kripa will take care of that dharma. I will make that person a dharmatma because in some way he is my devotee. Why? He listened to Rama Katha, na? Or rather Rama Katha went into his or her ears, na? So Bhagavan says, bhakta, finish. Even if you call your child Rama, Bhagavan thinks you are a bhakta. Why? Na? Adan kripa. The Sakala Loka Daya Sindhavena, that's the meaning, ocean of compassion. There is no depth or fathomless ocean of compassion. And so Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita that the moment I take you as my devotee, your dharma journey is my responsibility. I will ensure. You just don't distract yourself from bhakti. You keep doing your bhakti. You don't worry about dharma, I will take care. But the bhakti and the, sort of the bond between a devotee and Bhagavan, even if it's alpam, should be genuine. It should not be for the world. World kahal. This is for Atmartham. So here, if our prayer is true, if the prayer is genuine, Bhagavan says, Shipram Bhavat, I will make him dharma. How? By my own katha, by my own nama, by my own guna, he will be reformed. That's the beauty of our Shastras. That's why our Valmiki Bhagavan thought that After the Vedic studies were over for 2 young children in his ashram, he looked at them and said, now that they finished Vedas, they need to understand and live Vedas. They did Shravanam and they have done the Mananam of Vedas. But they have to live Vedas. Nididhyasanam they have to do. How will they do it? Vedartha Upabrahmanarthaya. Veda Upabrahmanarthaya. Our Valmiki Bhagavan gave Ramayana as a complete commentary for the Veda maatha so that we can lead the essence of Vedic life, not the external observances maybe, but we can understand what Veda maatha wanted us to live and how she wanted us to live by Ramayanam. Whatever we call duty has been blessed by Bhagavan to us, and how do I make the best of it so that at the end of the day I have to show accounts to Bhagavan. How many unforgiving minutes I have not wasted, I have done something, I have done your seva, I remembered you. This is how life of a bhakta is, isn't it? That is what here our Ramayana is also showing, duty, not duty. Our Ramachandra Prabhu understands, this is the role I have to play, he will play it perfectly. And his personal love would be hidden inside. You see? You understand that grandness, then you can't help loving him with all your heart. But for that to be exposed, you need, suppose I can give suji rava, I can give tomatoes, chalo, I'll give you aloo also, ponapute, okay, I will give you some mustard oil, everything I will give you. But you think everybody will make proper upma? They will make a khichdi out of it. You see? Why? Because even though the material is same, how people handle it is different. Ramayanam is pavitram. Ramayanam is beautiful. But unfortunately, if some perverted mind sees it, obviously they will see perversion there. If a saint sees it, he sees divinity there. If a Shuddhatma sees that, he sees the height of human character there. So remember this. It is pure. But then people can meddle with it and muffle it a bit. Why I am telling you that is, about 10 years back, some children of our Gopagutiram in America saw some serial. जो हिंदी में आया था, इंग्लिश का ट्रांसलेट भी हो गया. Imagine, double problem now. And the one who wrote it in Hindi made it a little bit of a chauvinistic stuff, etc. And the child was a lovely child. It came one day and said, I will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, but I won't chant Hare Rama. Why? Such a cruel person. How? That's what they saw. So I would be personally, Pokemon Guda is better, you see, than showing them which is all muddled up versions of this Parama Pavitra Uttama Prema Shastram. So you have to really elevate ourselves to actually see the beauty of Ramachandra Prabhu's quality, where the love for Seetha Mata is immeasurable. He says she is inseparable from me. Seetha Mata says he is inseparable from me. Bhaskarena Prabhayata. Like the sun's rays and sun are inseparable. Ramachandra Prabhu is the Surya. I am only the Prabha, which is the actual rays which comes from Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Her misery is Ramachandra Prabhu's misery. Ramachandra Prabhu's misery is her misery. We need to understand the Anyonya. You can't see them as two different people. Can you separate Shakti and Shaktiman? Can you separate the power and the powerful person? Can you say very powerful, you don't come, let your power alone come and lift it? You see? So if you elevate ourselves to that and then see Ramayana will make us absolutely helplessly in love with Ramachandra Prabhu and Seetha Mata. Because they vie with each other. They compete with each other in Kripa. They compete with each other in their mutual love. Very difficult to understand until we take. Because Bhagavan as Bhagavan is easy to understand. Sarvajnan, Sarvashaktan, Sarvantaryami, Sarvavyapaka, present everywhere. Very, very powerful, most powerful. The power of everybody is borrowed from that power. The one who knows everything, that we can understand. We can understand humans, Alpajnan, hardly knows anything. Because most of the time what we hear in our ears is, you don't understand. Especially bachelors. So they say, you don't understand at all. Obviously we are Alpajna, otherwise you would have understood, na? So we are Alpajna, Alpashakta, and we are not Sarvavyapi, we think we are here only. And so we understand humans as humans, we can understand Bhagavan as Bhagavan. When Bhagavan comes down as a human, that wonderful paradox, that wonderful love, that wonderful leela, You need to be in a satsang to appreciate it. Otherwise, you will be only thinking here. We need to think here, na? Rama is Bhagavan. Why didn't he know where Seetha Mata was? I will give you some other book to read. You are not ready yet. You see? That's rasa. I want water. Why did you give me Panagam? It will take care of Dharma also. It will take care of Bhakti also. Over above it, it gives us rasa. You see? That's the beauty of Ramachandra Prabhu's. And the difference, as very beautifully our Swamiji says, Ramachandra Prabhu hid his prema, exhibited Dharma. Our Krishna Chandra Prabhu hid Dharma, exhibited prema. Both were prema, both were Dharmatmas. It's only what you show out and what you keep in. Our Ramachandra Prabhu showed Dharma, Dharma, Dharma. Prema only Bhaktas can understand. Krishna Chandra Prabhu, prema, prema, prema. Krishna Chandra Prabhu's Dharma only Bhaktas can understand. That's why we need Satsanga. Where you see the same divinity shows these two. So when you say Rama and Krishna, you see them together, you will understand the whole picture, because we can only see what is manifested. Na? And that is the reason why our Valmiki Bhagavan is taking us through a lovely journey of relishing Bhagavan as a human. That's super Vishayam. You have to understand, it's all Leela. Leela ka matlab hai natak. But you have to understand natak. Natak means when I am acting in the stage and I am supposed to feel sad. Am I sad? Yes and no. If I am a good actor, I will take the role of sadness. At times I can get a little, emotional. And actually I may cry. That's what makes it even more realistic. And then everybody, oh, Narva. Inside I'll be very happy crying. You see? Without losing my Ananda Swarupam, I can also play a role of a sorrowing person. Both are true in its own levels. Knowing very well what is going to happen in the next scene, I will be searching. What is happening? Where is my car key? Where is my car key? And I may get really agitated also. But I know very well where it is in the drama. And my real uptick of, that I have done a natak properly is none of the audience should feel, this chap knows, he is only acting. No. You should all be convinced that I think, was it drama? I thought you really lost the key. You were running here and there, you threw the sofa up, all that. That is what is the real success of a natak. Na? Ramachandra Prabhu played that natak so well that to this day people are debating whether he did right or wrong. Who? The one who is a Dharma Swarupam has enacted his game so well that people actually feel the compassion for Ramachandra Prabhu. People actually feel, that's how you get involved with divinity. So he came down as a natak. Nato natyadaro yatha. The real purpose of the natakam is for us to become a part of it, to see it as if it is directly we are perceiving what Ramachandra Prabhu is doing, so that we can never forget Ramachandra Prabhu. And that is the reason why he descended. Leela Natakam. Sarvajna, he knows everything, yet he searches behind every tree in Panchavati, searching for Seetha Mata. He is Paramananda Swarupam. Rama means the Ananda in yogi's heart, you see. And he is crying, lamenting, fasting in the caves of Kishkinda for the entire rainy season. The rains from Ramachandra Prabhu's lotus eyes and the clouds were competing with each other. And constantly saying, Site, Site, Site. Is that natakam na? Don't think it is play acting. He became a role. And to actually make us see how humans need to live. And to show sterling values in the midst. And the reason why Valmiki Ramayanam is 24,000 verses. 24,000 verses, Ramachandra Prabhu 11,000 years he lived in. So at least 2.4 verses or maybe less than that. Per year they should write. First year of Ramachandra Prabhu 2 slokas. Second year 2 slokas. Third year 22,000 done. Extra 2,000 you put if whatever you want to expand. But almost 80% of Ramayanam, starting from Balakandam to our final Yuddha Kandam, is basically talking about the Vanavasa of Ramachandra Prabhu in the maximum extent. 14 years. When Ramachandra Prabhu was not even happily, see Ramachandra Prabhu, 16th chapter of the first Balakandam, Avataram. 19th chapter, Kalyana. You see? And then immediately problems start. All these, coronation. And then comes all these little kalaham, etc. He has to go to the forest now with our Seetha Mata and Lakshmana Swami. And then almost 80% of Ramayana is about the suffering of Ramachandra Prabhu. When I say suffering, you understand what I am saying. The trials and tribulations he faced. Of course, he is Chidanandam. He is a Paramanandam, Nityanandam. So there is no suffering for Ramachandra Prabhu. Why? Our Swamiji says, 14 years. In that specifically, even more in detail, the time when he is separated from his, almost his part of his, being, which is Seetha Mata, 10 months, even bigger. The reason why, because Ramachandra Prabhu is to show how he was Meru Samadhira, sings our Tyagaraja Swami. He says, Kanaka Parvata Samadhairya Hare Mampagi. Bhadrachala Ramadasa Garu says, like he is like a golden mountains, Dhairyam. What does Dhairyam mean? Generally in Tamil, Dhairyam we think, when you are walking alone in the night, somehow you manage to come home. Dhairyam. Dhairyam does not mean that. Dhira means being steadfast like a mountain, come rain or shine or showers or snow. Like our Govardhanagiri Maharaj. Which means I shall stick to my values and dharma. Even if my life changes, I won't change. You see? Tamil, I will tell you in Tamil and English, pardon me, that's my Matru Bhasha, I hope you will support that. He says, Vazhka Maranalum, Manusha Marakudathu. Even if the life changes, the person should not change. Na? The person should hold on to the values. And Ramachandra Prabhu's values are so beautiful that I am going to tell you tomorrow. Dasaratha Maharaja, young person, Ramachandra Prabhu, you have to remember, he was a Kshatriya, which means he was looking forward to ruling Ayodhya, not for the power, but the chance to enhance the life of millions of people, of his subjects. He was bubbling with that joy to, I am going to take over the kingdom, I am going to take care of my children, which is my praja. He was not the one who runs away from the kingdom. That's a different story. A Raja running away from the kingdom for his own emancipation is a different story. That's also divine. But Ramachandra Prabhu is, if you ask me, he is few cuts above, where he wants to embrace the duty of a Kshatriya to make a difference in the lives of people in Ayodhya so that he can serve everybody. He was looking forward to the kingdom, yet nothing showed in his face. To whom? Anybody who can read our face, the best person is your own father. Na? Inga Valmiki drops hints about the greatness of Ramachandra Prabhu's character. How? He is saying Ayodhya is filled with these subjects who are all very sharp people, it seems. If you are out of town, they will immediately see you. Not by other dressing. The way in which you behave, the way in which you look, etc. It's called Ingita Kovidaha. They are all Ingitagnaha. What does Ingita means? Without you expressing your needs and feelings, they can actually read your mind, it seems. Who? Normal subjects of the kingdom. And if those subjects are like that, imagine the Ashtamantri. Starting with Siddhartha, Artha Sadhaka, and Sumantra and the rest. These 8 ministers, if you have that capability to read somebody just by looking at somebody, imagine the minister, how sharp they will be. How can there be a minister? And what will they administer? You see. And if the 8 ministers were like that, imagine the 3 people who are all, along with our Dasharatha Maharaja, Purohitas. They even counsel the ministers like Vasishta, Vamadeva, Kashyapa and the rest. How much they would be if all of them were ruled by a Raja. And imagine how much he can read the hearts of everybody. Raja, otherwise can he be a Raja for 60,000 years? Dasharatha. And forget a stranger. Right from childhood, he has been seeing Ramachandra Prabhu maximum. And that father, who is the ruler of all those subjects, who were all sharp in Ingitagnaha. Ingitagnaha, they know what you are thinking by looking at you. He could not understand if Ramachandra Prabhu is happy or not happy when he gave a grand news of a lifetime. which a Kshatriya is looking forward to the whole life, saying, Rama, I have decided to actually coronate you tomorrow in a court. Ramachandra Prabhu's face showed no change whatsoever, not even discernible by the three Purohitas, Ashtamantris, forget it, Dasharatha Maharaja himself. And he said, is Rama happy with this or not? If he is not happy, why should he be not happy? So he dismissed the court, calls Ramachandra Prabhu separately and says, Rama, are you happy with being coronated? Ramachandra Prabhu, yes. With the same silent face, bloomed face, always cheerful. Then he himself guessed, don't be sad that Bharata is not there. He would also approve it. So he is second guessing now, you see. And that is the depth of Ramachandra Prabhu's heart. Nobody can understand what is in his heart. Mahatmas are like that. You can't discern. Nobody can. Nobody can find the depth. That's why the word Gambhiryam means that Samudra iva Gambhiryaha. All you can see in a Samudram is, when you go deep sea, blue ocean. That's it. How deep is it? You don't know. What are the pearls in it? You don't know. What are the gems in it? We don't know. What are the aquatic creatures? We don't know. Because it's so deep that we don't even know. It's some places in the earth, we don't even know how deep it is. Even now with all these great developments in all sonar technology and all that. Imagine that. Samudraiva Gambhiryaha. Adan Gambhiram. Sthiraha, Stairyam is what is Dhairyam. Dhira means unshaken by what happens. Whether it is something which is coronating, when somebody is coronated as, the Raja of the entire known civilization, imagine that, Dasharatha Maharaja did Ashwamedha, so all the Rajas are under him now. And being coronated, no sign of anything. And the next day, our Sumantra takes him there, and Kaikeyi Mata says, Rama, not coronation for you. Bharata will be coronated. You have to go to the forest, leaving all of us for 14 years. Same face. And Adishankara Bhagavad-pada of all the Acharya Purushas almost become intoxicated with that, to an extent that in Sahasranama, Sumukhaye Namaha, he just takes that verse from Ramayana as a Bhashyam, finish. Sumukha of our Bhagavan is, when you are giving coronation or when you are getting the news of coronation, there was no change in that face. The same face was what the entire universe saw when the exact opposite was told to him, saying that tomorrow no coronation, you are going to be banished to the forest. Same cheer, nothing changed. And our Kamban in Tamil says, his face was as fresh, as fragrant and as beautiful as a lotus which just bloomed in the morning. He doesn't even want to say it as a lotus. Then you may think, maybe evening time lotus. Andra alarnda tamarai tannai vendradamma. Amma means amba. Hanta, they say na. Hanta yamadri rabala haridasa varyo. Our gopis use the word hanta, amba, etc. to show surprise, a sort of shock. And all these, Kamban, who wrote Kambanatazhvar, he very beautifully says that day's just to bloom lotus was defeated at the cheer in the face of Ramachandra Prabhu, which was not even an iota reduced because of an exact adverse news, you see. And that is what is called depth of Ramachandra Prabhu's. That's why even Dasarathar couldn't understand. Forget it. Brahma couldn't understand. Brahma got confused. Our Parameshwara couldn't understand. Nobody could understand. How can normal humans understand Ramachandra Prabhu? So when people don't understand him, that is why he is Bhagavan. Purinjirthana, why is he Bhagavan? Avijñā, abdine peru. Avijñātaan peru. In Sahasranama there is another nama called Avijñāta, Sahasram, Shurnu. Avijñāta means that who cannot be understood. Who can be experienced, we can cry, we can experience Rama Guna, we can understand Ramachandra Prabhu. He is beyond all that. And that is the beauty of his Gambhiryam, depth. Gambhira means you can't fathom him. Sthiram means staying in that state. Come what may, adversity or prosperity, let it be anything, unshaken. When he had everything under his disposal to be used, he didn't use anything. Vishwamitra Maharishi gave him all mantras. There are some mantras which will help you to actually show you things hidden, like even treasures underneath. It can help you to travel and find out what is where. All that mantra he had. Because Vishwamitra had all these mantras as a Raja. He did not use any of that. Kartavirajura mantra nu irukku. If you do the japa of the mantra, if you think about something, it will tell you where that person or thing is. He didn't use it. Why? Dhira. I will do what I will. With my Paurusha, with my strength, I will find Sita Mata. And there are some wonderful Vanaras. Let me give them service. You see? And when Sugriva became a little bit, confused a bit, when he was little reluctant to accept Vibhishana, he said, hey, Sugriva, whom do you think I am? With these 2 nails, I will finish off the entire universe if I want to. Narasimha, Raghava, Simham. You see? He showed this. Then Sugriva became very afraid. Then Samadhana. Don't worry. He's still my friend and all that. With that power, he is taking an army of Vanaras. That is the beauty of Ramachandra. He could have taken Kshatriyas. Bharata would have sent an army. After all, it is his own mother, Sita Mata, Matrutulyam. He didn't. Why? Unfit vechindu karyam nadatharadhan great. The people who are unfit, what will monkeys do? They made a mockery out of war. Real war is Mahabharata war. Enna vyuham onnu kediyadu. Kaila atti. Scratch somebody, bite somebody, with the tail slap somebody. Is this the way to do yuddham? Ravana became very depressed. Planning the formation. Chakra view, Padma view, Oru view. So they will jump on you, slap you, bite you. Seripa, mudicha seri. You see? Now yuddhame kediyadu. Ramayana yuddham periya yuddha ganda. Mahabharata yuddham strategy. Mahabharata yuddham is planning, strategy. No strategy. What can you strategize with a monkey? And the Vanaras put. And that is the reason why in our Ramayanam, our Ramachandra Prabhu's gunam, if I take Gambhiryam, we need a Navaham for it. Our Swamiji did once Gambhirya Navaham. For 9 days you are talking about how deep Ramachandra Prabhu was. He looked at all the wonderful instances of Ramachandra Prabhu that shows his Gambhirya. 16 qualities is what Narada Maharshi is asked by Valmiki Bhagavan. Response is 64 qualities. Each quality is encompassed in this wonderful whole Rama Katha. So once you know basic Rama Katha, apro rasam. You see, you can look at where all he was Gambhiram. There was a great Vaishnavacharya, around 60 years back, he wrote a book on where all Ramachandra Prabhu smiled. Mandasmita Ramayanam. From Valmiki Ramayana, all the instances where Ramachandra Prabhu smiled and a story behind it, rasa behind it. That's so they are enjoying. So our Swamiji very beautifully says that what we are. To be very honest, to put it very subtly, we are all RF center. What is RF scene? Rama fan club. That's all we are. With Ramachandra Prabhu walks, we say, what a wonderful gait. Gambhira nadayod. Very beautiful. Gambhirya, the gait of Ramachandra Prabhu. Fantastic. Smile of Ramachandra Prabhu. Mrutubashi, the words Ramachandra Prabhu uses. And the Kritagnyata of Ramachandra Prabhu, the amount of gratitude he has. And Purva Bhashi, he does not wait for somebody else to come and introduce, it seems. He goes on his own accord and talks to the person, even if the person is stranger. All these qualities are there, embedded in Ramayana. So if we take one of the qualities, it itself will, we can see whole Ramayana through one quality. Like that, 16 qualities. And then 64 qualities. Then finally Valmiki wrote Kalyana Gunam, Kalyanabi Gunaha, it is completely infinite. And he goes on to say, if at all humankind after 1,000,000 years discovers a sterling human quality, it will already be there with Ramachandra Prabhu. There is nothing which is divine or a great human quality or a quality which we sort of find very fascinating, which is not with Ramachandra Prabhu.